Whether it's part of his Back in Black segments on The Daily Show or as the voice of anger in Pixar's Inside Out, Lewis Black has become one of the most recognizable voices in comedy. However, his world tour days are coming to an end, and on March 14th, he wraps up the Florida leg of his Goodbye Yeller Brick Road tour. But before he hits the stage for another packed performance, we are thrilled that Lewis Black has decided to join us here. We are so excited to have you, Mr. Black. How are you?
It's good. I'm thrilled to be here, wherever I am, which is kind of in, I guess, the ether. I'm in the ether. Should my head be facing? Should I be looking this way? What? Oh, there.
Look straight ahead into your computer screen. Look straight ahead into your computer screen.
Should I look this way?
Guys, what do you think? Which way does he look?
Because otherwise, I'm not looking at you. It's kind of psychotic. What is wrong with this? This doesn't make any sense. You might as well have a Picasso up there.
Oh, gosh.
I've never in the history of broadcasting had two people looking in the same direction.
Mr. Black, we barely started and I'm crying. You got me laughing. Okay, Mr. Black, 35 years on the road. What made you decide to put that tour bus into park mode now?
Zoom. Zoom is what drove me off the road, having to Zoom with people, as opposed to being able to show up in the studio and talk to them directly. That we're I'm in a square, you're in a square. The people are watching a square, some small squares, some big squares. It has destroyed us as a people. Now, what really did it is that it's time for me to be doing some other things.
And what are you going to do with this? Is it extra time? Take it a little more slowly, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting to that age where slow is like a given, and so I've really got to respond to the slow. Also, I really want to do I want to go back and do some writing. I want to go back and do some, work on some plays to maybe write a book, to spend some time down at the University of North Carolina where they've taken everything I've written and go through all of the stuff that's there and take a look and see if there's something in there that I want to share. And mostly to really kind of enjoy myself for a change, as opposed to, I was doing 150 dates a year, sometimes up to 200, and I loved it. But it's time there are other folks out there doing the job and I enjoy it. And I'd rather sit around at a desk at this point.
Well, I know a lot of your fans are excited. You're going to be coming through Florida. So how much do you prepare in prepping on Florida politics? How closely do you follow what's happening in the Sunshine State?
I can barely follow what's happening anywhere at this point in time. If I pick up the newspaper in the morning now, it is hard enough for me to get past that to even get to another state or to Florida or to any state. So it's but I have material that I finished the road I did some shows in December down in Florida. And so some of the material will certainly hold up. And so, because it hasn't changed in many ways. And, and you can apply what's happening now to, what Florida has to deal with. If we're really going to say, cut a bunch of employees and get rid of FEMA, well, I wish your state the best.
A lot of folks, we were talking to another comedian asking, in these times when we're so politically divided, it made me think, gosh, the job for comedians has to be a lot tougher. Have you had to change how you deliver jokes or just, how you approach stories?
No, I just have had a tendency to plow through and, some people might get upset, but it's kind of silly to get upset. I mean, the one thing I've said for quite a long time is I've been doing this for 35 years and I've had no effect on anything. Okay. I come to your town, I do the show, you wake up the next day, you go, wow, look at all the change here. It hasn't happened. Don't worry about it. It's a joke. You know what? And when you finish laughing, it's done. It goes bye-bye. Doesn't come back to haunt you. And it has no effect.
Well, you've had an effect on me. I was just practically in tears watching your last special, Tragically, I Need You. It has millions of views on YouTube. So I was wondering, how do you see social media? Has it been a good thing for your career? Being able to reach fans in a different way?
It's partly the end of my career because I'm really the guy who comes out of it's like I come out of what I call the industrial period of comedy. We're in the technological period of comedy, which is what? Which is social media, which is the phone. So we went from the bigger screen to the smaller screen, and I really, that's part of the reason I'm done. It's a whole new group of comics and some of my good friends who were, who picked up on it and understand it. I mean, I use it as best I can, but I'm really where I used to be the guy you interviewed in the newspaper, and now with social media, I've kind of been, it's just never worked for me. I don't like kind of advertising myself. I just like to talk.
But do you think it does sort of open the doors to maybe comedians who might otherwise not have been able to make it?
No, I think it opens the door to a lot of comedians. Probably a number of them would have been able to make it, and then there's some who've been able to adjust to it, and we'll see really if they're able to do if they're able to perform in clubs or in theaters. Once again, the marketplace will tell you. And that was part of the reason also I chose to call it a day. When when the ticket sales come down a bit, you go, it's time to move on. They want to see other people. That's fine. And it gives me a break. And I can only come up. I realize too, quite simply, and I've made this way too serious, but quite simply, part of the reason I've left is you can only do so many jokes, which I've done about 20, which is what is the difference between a Democrat and a Republican. I've done it in 20 different ways. Nobody's, I think they've all been really good, and coming up with a new one is exhausting, And I've been working on it, and by the time I get to Florida, I'll have it. And it has to do about, a marriage.
Oh.
And who do you want to marry? Which party do you want to marry? It's a bad marriage either way. And once I get to Florida, that'll be comic gold.
Well, we can't wait. And actually, I was telling you that this building here at WGCU is full of your fans. They love watching your angry rants. And I asked them, what did they want me to ask you? And they said they want to know, are you like that all the time? Where does the comedy end when is that how you are at home?
Only when I wake up, if some things come over the TV or during the day, I pick up a newspaper or a magazine and look at a headline and go, "Are you kidding me?" The anger has been there. What I've learned to do, and the reason it's kind of worked is I'm playing at anger. If I was really angry all the time, I would be dead in a week. Okay, and it was even from the beginning. So it's what I'm doing is I go up to the line where you don't want to be really angry in front of people because it has a tendency to kind of push them off. And when I kind of cross that line, I make sure people know that I know what's happening. I know that I've crossed the line, and I apologize.
Well, you know what? You have made us all laugh, so we thank you for what you do. And of course, you can catch Lewis Black on his Goodbye Yeller Brick Road farewell tour in Fort Myers. He'll be at the Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall on March 14th. And thank you, Mr. Black, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And thank everybody down there. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. We've got more great content for you, from news to the arts to the environment. So be sure to like and subscribe to WGCU's YouTube channel and follow us on our social media platforms for the stories that matter to you.